Okay, so now that we have moved through the plans, let's move over to the training and exercise part of this business continuity training program. So your emergency action plan and business continuity templates are only effective if your team knows how to use them. Planning alone isn't enough. Training and practicing those plans are just as critical. So before we dive into the tabletop exercise to test your plan, let's first explore the importance of training and exercise. For this last part of the program, we are going to use document number 5, the business continuity plan exercise document. I'll give you guys a second. So we'll begin by walking through the training and exercise process. So first we have planning. So you want to complete your emergency action plan and your business continuity plan. This is what we've done thus far up until right now in this training. So your second step is going to be training. So you want to train your staff on the plans and make sure that you're running through them and finding those gaps. So then you're going to test your plans using the exercise guidance and discussion questions worksheet. So you are going to see that exercise guidance. What we're looking at right now is the exercise guidance, actually, this presentation. And the discussion questions worksheet is going to be worksheet number 5.1. That will help you work through this exercise. And then for number 4, you're going to do an after action report and an improvement plan. So after you've conducted your exercise, you're going to conduct an after action report to identify any gaps. You're going to use that. You're going to use it to complete an improvement plan. So you're going to find out where those gaps were, and those are going to be your areas for improvement. And then you're going to update your plans. So far, we've focused on filling out your plans or learning to do so. The next step is training your staff to carry them out, as I mentioned in this previous slide. So you want to decide who will be responsible for training the staff on your plan. Likely it will be the business owner. So you're going to consider training your staff when any changes occur to the plan, when an employee's plan responsibilities change, regularly as a refresher, so maybe 1 to 2 times a year. And then you want to maintain a record of training to ensure that all staff are regularly trained. So let's go over a few tips. These are located on pages 1 and 2 of that exercise document, number 5, for running your exercise effectively. These considerations are important to note prior to conducting the exercise. So you want to set objectives. So in this tabletop exercise, we are evaluating the ability to respond to an emergency and protect life and property, maintain operations during a disruption using continuity strategies. Number 3, restore operations to normal function using restoration strategies, make decisions and delegate authority, coordinate with employees, customers, and external partners, and then identify gaps in resources. I want to say this one more time. This is a no-fault environment. If you find gaps in your plan, or you find that maybe you just didn't fill out the emergency action plan or the business continuity plan right, that is completely okay. It is better to find this out now than to be in an emergency or disruption, be in the midst of one, and for there to be gaps in your plan and for them not to really even work. So again, if you are doing this with anyone else, you want to engage in open dialogue. We have so much to learn from each other. So really leaning on your business owner, friends, or family can be really helpful during an exercise like this one. So this exercise, let's run through the tabletop exercise. How is this going to work? And I know that this is a lot, so just reading the document directions itself will actually help you a lot as well. So this exercise helps you test your emergency action plan and business continuity plan to find gaps and to see if your business can continue running during a disruption. So today we'll focus on just one scenario, the scenario outlined in red. It's a power outage. This is a modular system. So the scenarios are designed to help you think through your emergency response and your disruptions and how you'll continue and restore key operations. So there are a total of 4 scenarios. The first one is a power outage, which is a denial of service. It's an equipment failure. So scenario 2 is a cyber attack. So this is another denial of service, a system failure. Scenario 3 is a major public transit issue, a denial of service with a reduced workforce. And then scenario 4 is a flood, which is a denial of access to a facility. So these are, again, all in document number 5. So while the discussion questions for both Module 1 and Module 2 are on document 5, you want to make sure you have worksheet number 5.1 printed out or up on your computer if you want to just focus on the discussion questions without the rest of the document being in the way. Again, I just wanted to give you a visual of what 5.1 looks like. This is the business continuity exercise discussion questions. Again, these discussion questions are in your document as well. So document number 5, the exercise document. But for me, I like to have 5.1 ready so that I can just fill them out on paper to pen to paper. That's what's easiest for me personally. So let's walk through the scenario instructions. So we'll start with scenario 1, a power outage that's affecting your ability to use essential equipment. So let's start by reading module 1 of scenario 1. Again, we're going to walk through this together, but I'm just walking you through the instructions now. A power outage. This is on page 4 of the exercise document. Once you've read through that, you're then going to respond to the module 1 discussion questions. Those are going to be on page 2. And those are focused on your emergency action plan, as well as your essential business functions, your continuity strategies, and communication procedures section of your business continuity plan. Again, for the sake of time, we will only be going through the discussion questions pertaining to the business continuity plan and the emergency action plan today. I want to just, this will be a lot easier for you to work through when you're doing it on your own and you're looking at the directions, but we're going to run through it together. So once complete, and you've completed those module 1 questions, you are then going to read module 2, which is going to be on page 4, and you're going to answer the questions related to your business continuity plan's restoration strategies. So again, this is broken up into like before and during a disruption, and then after this disruption. So you can look at it as module 1 is the emergency action plan, so emergency response, and then continuity strategies. And then you're going to read module 2 of the scenario, and you're going to be like, okay, everything's returning back to normal a little bit. And that is when you're going to answer the module 2 questions, which really focus on restoration strategies. So let's do this together. So remember, there are 4 types of disruption scenarios: denial of access to a facility, denials of service caused by a system failure, reduced workforce, equipment failure. So let's begin with the first scenario. So I'm going to read this to you. At Thursday at 7:00 a.m., a severe storm has caused a power outage that affects your entire street. The utility company notifies you that the power could be out for 48 plus hours as they work to fix the issue. The power outage has caused impacts to your business, such as an inability to use computer systems. It's caused refrigeration and freezer units to fail, putting perishable inventory at risk. Your connectivity is also down, as the outage ultimately led to a network failure affecting internal communication. Vendors are unable to make deliveries due to a down power line on the street. Again, this is kind of a worst case scenario type of situation, but it's meant to test all aspects of that emergency action plan and that business continuity plan. When a disruption hits or there's a power outage, chances are not all of this is going to happen, but it could, and we want to make sure we're ready for that. So once you've worked through this and feel like you've absorbed all of this information, you are going to turn to that 5.1 sheet or in your exercise document. And you're going to start working through these questions, the emergency action plan questions, with module 1 titled above it. So module 1, those are the questions we want to answer first and foremost. So your emergency action plan, your communication plus questions, evacuation questions, shelter in place. Just start answering those questions, and then we'll move on to module 2. So once, maybe pause this video here and start working through those questions, or at least some of them. You don't have to do all of them. I mean, if shelter in place isn't going to apply to you, then there's no need to answer those questions right now. So you'll see that they'll be covered somewhere else in the other scenarios. So pause this video and answer the module 1 questions. So once you've answered those Module 1 questions, you're going to move to Module 2. And like I said, things are starting to go back to normal. So it's Sunday at 7 a.m. The storm has concluded and the power has been restored. Your network is back up and running, and then vendors have restarted deliveries. So after we have looked at the Module 2 part of the scenario, we're going to move to the Module 2 discussion questions. And you're going to see those again on your 5.1 worksheet, but those are also outlined in your exercise document, which is document number 5. Whatever works best for you. Again, I do like to use the worksheet because I like to write the answers out. So whatever works best for you, but pause this video here and start working through those Module 2 questions. So I'm back, and I hope that you worked through those. Once you finish the scenario, so after reviewing the questions you answered, as well as those you could not answer on areas where you felt unprepared, take another look at the exercise objectives listed in the after action report section of the chart on page 7 of your number 5 business exercise document. So you're going to check off whether each objective was met, either with or without challenges. Remember, this is a no-fault environment. It is completely okay to identify gaps, and I would even encourage it. Let's go run through one. For example, for number 1, evaluate the ability to respond to an emergency and protect life and property. Were there challenges with that when you were answering those Module 1 questions? Or were you able to quick do that and there was no issues with it? Let us know. Okay, let's move over to the improvement plan. Again, feel free to pause this video at whatever point you need to. I know that I'm running through this fast, so for any objectives checked off as performed with challenges, you want to document that under this area of improvement. This is on page 7 and 8, and you're going to want to identify ways to improve areas related to this objective. So how can this be improved? And then who is the responsible team member? Who is going to implement these changes? Who is going to make sure that this area of improvement is addressed? So once you have addressed that and figured out, what can I go back in my emergency action plan and change? What can I go back into my business continuity plan and change? Does a continuity plan need a change for a denial of access to a facility? What needs to change and who is responsible for that? So once you've done that, you're going to want to update those emergency action plans or business continuity plans accordingly.